This video will cover the Ion Science Cub units, the regular Cub and the Cub TAC, and the bump and calibration data download dock. So on the back of the dock you've got port 1, which is a clean air port, so you could either just have that hooked up to a filter or nothing, like if you know the air is clean in the area, or even zero air if you wanted to. Port 2 is for your calibration gas. In this case I've got a demand flow regulator hooked up to 100 ppm isobutylene gas, and I've got an expiry date of April 2019, so this gas is still good. I've got power coming to the dock here through this connector, and on the back I've got a place to plug in the USB cable, and that's connected to my computer now, so you can see that when it's not connected you get a red light here. When it's connected to the computer you get a green light. So normally we would pop either of these Cub units into the dock and we can download the data, bump and calibrate with the isobutylene gas. So just to get into running the instruments, so when I'm holding this to turn it on, you can see that it's showing some firmware details. This is the TAC mode unit, this is the Cub. So you hold down till it gives you that firmware number and starts to boot up. I've made it, and this is showing the response factor for benzene that was in there. Now it's counting down, both of them are counting down 5 seconds. It's just stabilizing. Okay, so both are reading. You can see the TAC mode unit this is the battery, it's fairly low, I've got to charge this one. The Cub is fully charged. I have another video that goes through the setup that talks about the different settings and the screens that are available. So if I click through these, if I click it once, it shows the backlight, or the backlight comes on. This is showing the TWA, the STEL 50-minute average calculated value. This is the TWA 8-hour average. I've got the time, the low alarm, and the high alarm, the temperature, and if I had turned it on, the next screen would be the ability to manually calibrate in the field without the dock, but I've turned that feature off. So that's so this Cub, the standard Cub, has a 10.6 lamp, and you can still select which gas. If you have like one gas present, you could select that. You know, say if I had styrene or something like that, I could go in and set it to measure styrene, and if styrene was the only gas present, that would measure in parts per million of styrene. The TAC mode has a 10.0 lamp. It's basically designed for especially for refineries and places like that are interested in benzene. The 10.6 electron volt lamp eliminates a lot of the other gases that have ionization potentials above 10, where this one has the 10.6 lamp. So basically you pick up more chemicals with this, but if you're worried about BTEX or benzene and stuff like that, this is a better unit for doing that type of monitoring. So if I click it once, I get the backlight. If I click it again, oh, sorry, there we go. It's showing me what the STEL value alarm is. Then it's showing me what the STEL calculation is so far, which is 0. Now it's showing me the TWA alarm at 1 ppm and showing me the calculated value so far, which is still 0. The time, the low alarm, the high alarm, I set them both to 1 because this is more for benzene application. The temperature, and again, if I turned it off on this, but there's a screen that could have been set up to do manual calibrations in the field. When they're put into the dock, you use the software, and you can it automatically downloads the data. You can choose to bump test or calibrate, and like I say, look at that other video, it'll give you more details.